Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work. Jacobson, yes, I know you arrived on time. Me and Victoria haven't. Victoria is madly getting some food for the children, and she'll be here any second now. She will be here on time. She will be here. But at the moment, you've just got me. We've got 50 seconds to go before the start of the run, and it's an hour and 35 minutes today, so a good old long session. So do stick with us, or don't. If you want to just do 5k, or if you want to just do half an hour or an hour and then go, then that's fine. Victoria is now saying she thinks she's got an injury. Anyway, we're off. Any second now. Lee Walker says, joining you for the first hour. That's fine. Hello, Amy. Amy's on as well. Yeah, so Sarah Jacobson, You have every right to criticise. We are late and I apologise. I'm going to go at 9 kph. Victoria's not moving. You need to maybe repair. Right, let me just say hello to everyone in game. Hello everyone and thanks for joining. Can we just have the doors closed for like 5 minutes just to warm up? Just while we warm up, I've left the door slightly open. We are here for 95 minutes today. Feel free to join us for the whole thing or for as long as you want. Yoko, hello Yoko. Tina Beard says good evening all. Victoria says her calf is really sore, so Victoria might not last very long, or she might make her way through it. We'll see what happens. Big thank you to Sarah and Marcus for leading last week. Sarah Jacobson says, let's see how the run goes without our wit and repartee. I mean, they did okay, but I know you're glad to have us back. Sorry.
Hello to Lee Walker. He's saying, oh no, I'm recovering from a sore calf at the moment. Lee, I am totally paranoid about my calf because last summer I tore it. And I'm really worried that it's that injury flaring up. Hello to Heather. She says, evening all. I'm trying to convince my lazy self to get changed and jump on the treadmill. Don't think about it, Heather, just do it. Tina, hello. She's had her massage gun on a sore calf too. Tina, I fear I've made my calf worse by attacking it with a massage gun. Thank you, Yoko. Yoko says take care. Oh, so Lee Walker also tore his calf last year and is also paranoid. Yes, indeed, we must keep positive and do cross training. Last year, I followed my heart and not my head. I did the UTS 50k, which was the most elevation I've ever done in one run. And then a few days later, I did a local 10k race. And I rolled my ankle on the downhill, felt something. I could still sprint finish, but what I didn't realise was by walking on it, I was damaging my calf even more. 3 days later, I ended up in A&E because I couldn't walk. Hello to Leafon. Lee thinks that his compression boots caused the calf issue. This time on a rest day. Too aggressive. Interesting. Yeah, I'm hoping that it's just the massage gun that has made my calf sore as opposed to my old injury flaring up. Marathon training is always full of paranoia. Everyone wants to get to the start line. Tina has had a really good rest day today, feeling much better for her long run tomorrow. Well done, Tina. Your training's going really well. Thank you, Heather. Lee Walker says paranoia. Yep, indeed. So, in April it will be my 5th Paris Marathon. On my first Paris Marathon, I managed to injure my foot. I think I must have torn a ligament or something. Initial diagnosis was stress fracture, but it wasn't that. Anyway, it took a good 6 months to get back running again. All was okay for the following year. As soon as I stepped out of the car in Paris, my foot started hurting. I knew it was all in my head. Heather has asked Tina how far her run is tomorrow. She said it's in 2 hours, so about 10 easy miles. Yesterday, Leafgone was cooking chicken, but forgot about it for 10 hours. And because I left the room for so long, I was not smelling that something was wrong. When I got so hungry, so I left. It was a very strong smell and just a coal in a red hot pan. Oh dear. Lee Walker went to the physio about his calf. And the physiotherapist said Rice is old now. It's all about love and peace. Interesting. Perhaps we should all be lighting the joss sticks. Heather hopes Tina has good weather for her long run tomorrow. For everyone who will be running Paris Marathon this year, has anybody noticed that the course has changed? Like I said, this will be my 5th Paris Marathon, but I think it will be the 3rd different route I've run it. Sarah Jacobson has asked, what are some first-timers tips for Paris Marathon? Remember to look left as you run past the Eiffel Tower. In fact, they actually put signs out to make sure that you look left. There's an aid station with fresh oranges at that point. hello to John Farrell, who says evening all. So Sarah basically just absorb the atmosphere, take in all the sights, and really adjust your pace when you come out of the tunnels. Otherwise, I tend to cramp up. Look out for the disco in the tunnel. Heather says dance in the disco tunnel, one of the best bits, lifts your spirits, indeed. And another tip, if, well, I'm assuming, Sarah, you will have your family out cheering you on the route. Plan in advance where your family will be and whether they will be on the left side or the right side of the road. Otherwise, you'll miss them. It's the only big city marathon I've run. I absolutely love it. And I believe it's Stephen's favourite. And he's run London and Berlin as well. And this year, I really do think the course is going to be better, because I've never liked weaving backwards and forwards in the park at the end. It was like mental torture. You could see the finish line, but you still had about 2 or 3 kilometres to go. I'm missing all the in-game chat. I'll get Stephen to fill me in.
Right, Marcus says, do we have cobblestones? Yes, there are cobblestones, but to be honest, you don't really notice them. They are relatively benign cobblestones. You get them at the beginning, down the Champs-Élysées, but you also get them at various points on the course, but they're really not that bad. It was funny because last year, somebody asked about cobblestones, and I said, oh, there's hardly any. And then when we ran round the course on the day, I suddenly noticed how many cobblestones there were. And there are quite a few sections with bits of cobblestone in, but they honestly don't affect your running that much. Sarah Jacobson is just reminding me that she is coming to Paris. She can't remember whether she's told me that yet. And she wanted me to tell her whether I have done... She's not sure whether I've done a sub 3-hour marathon or not before, so I'll have to look it up, Sarah, because I can't remember. I've done so many marathons. The times just kind of... I don't really think about the times, so I'll have to look it up and check. Yeah, Tina wants to know if Paul Deering is watching. I hope not. I hope not, Tina, because... I mean, actually, I shouldn't be charged for that, because that's somebody else has brought that up, not me. It's not my fault, is it? What else have we got here? Yeah, so we've got Olaf, who is coming to Paris, who we didn't know about before. So it'd be great to see Olaf Dennison. So he's going to get his name down on the list. We've got a list on the Facebook page, on the Zwift Runners Facebook page. There is an event titled Paris Marathon. If you are coming to Paris, if you are going to, even if you're not running, if you're just coming to Paris and you'll be there, come and say hello. We are going to meet for a meal the night before, and then we're going to run the Paris Marathon, and we're going to meet up at the end of the Paris Marathon and congratulate each other, and then we're going to go for a meal the evening after the marathon. So finish the marathon, go home, lie down, get changed, and go out for another meal. So with our medal, yeah, you have to wear your medal. It's compulsory to go to the restaurant wearing your medal. Unfortunately, we don't have Grace to organise the restaurants. Last year, Grace was in charge of organising the restaurants and did a sterling job, even though we did get kicked out of one a bit early. Sarah Jacobson is terribly excited for food. Less so for the running. Sarah's just going for the food. And also, bad news, Sarah. Kevin DeLuca now cannot come to Paris. He is swamped. He's going to be swamped with work over the next few months and cannot get the training in. So karaoke is now cancelled for one of the restaurant evenings, unless Marcus Holmes steps up, and then we can have Marcus and Sarah doing karaoke. I would say after the marathon, so the evening of that we finished the marathon. Sarah is devastated, yeah, but if Marcus steps up to the plate, Sarah, then you know it's all good, isn't it?
Going back to Leafion's cooking disaster, he opened up all the windows. His house is so cold, but the smell is still there. Oh dear, good luck with that one. Leafion would also like to know, Zwift in VR, when? Now, we have seen a VR on treadmill running, haven't we?
No, it's not. It was.
Apparently, Zwift was tested in VR.
And
I just remember Noble Pro demoing VR at the National Running Show a couple of years ago. Or 1 year ago, whenever it was. Hello to Jackie Ramos. She's in a challenge to scramble points for the Lottery Olympics mass marathon. How exciting, Jackie! I've not seen that advertised. Heather won't be running in Paris, just shuffling. Heather, me too. I have to say though, 1 year I wasn't trained. I did a shuffle around Paris, and it was the happiest Paris marathon that I had done. I think the PB toppled it last year though. John Farrell has just done Scotland Route 3 and got a haggis at the end. Nice one. John has got a spare Paris entry if anyone wants it, and it can be transferred. I don't think it can be transferred, John, but it's worth looking up.
Marcus, I don't think our singing, your singing or Sarah's, is likely to get a copyright strike. Really? Do you? I mean, it's got to, right, the thing is, it's got to be Islands in the Stream. Or how about Barcelona by Freddie Mercury and Montserrat Caballé? You could do that as a duet. So in-game chat at the moment is all about karaoke because Kevin DeLuca can no longer come to Paris. He was going to do karaoke with Sarah Jacobson, but he's no longer coming. So Marcus Holmes is stepping up to the plate. He wants to do Thriller. I guess you could each have a solo spot, and then you have to do at least 1 or 2 duets. So I'm suggesting Islands in the Stream, or Barcelona. That was Freddie Mercury and Montserrat Caballé. I can't remember who did Islands in the Stream though. Who was that? Islands in the Stream, that is what we are. No one in between. How can we be something? Sail away with me to another world, and we rely on it. Oh, Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers, that was it. Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers. Right, hang on, I've got to pass over to Victoria. Oh, I can't read properly from here, though. Go on, no, you do it.
Hello to Hustens Vaknikta. Hi, everybody. Hope you're well and injury-free. All the best from surprisingly sunny South Germany. And it says, I thought there's a rave going on in Paris. When I read that, I just realised that there's another meaning to shuffle than the dance. But count them in the upcoming rave. Paul Hayward says, get the popcorn in, Tina. I'm not sure what that was in relation to. I think I must have...
Live stream karaoke.
Oh, live stream karaoke from Paris. So Jackie Ramos is hoping to gain a place in the mass marathon at the Paris 2024 Olympics. I've got my fingers crossed for you, Jackie. That really would be awesome. Tina says, anyone would think you were all going to Paris to run a marathon, but it seems not.
Right, back to Sarah and Marcus, who are now very excited about doing karaoke. Marcus says he's just finished watching the whole Get Back documentary. I started watching it, but each episode is like about 3 hours long, isn't it? So I've only the Beatles Get Back documentary. So I've only watched like 1.5 of them late at night when Victoria's fast asleep. I quite often sit up and watch something on YouTube, and I did start watching the Get Back documentary, but basically just fell asleep. It's very interesting, but it's just so long. So yeah, I've watched I think 1.5 of them so far. Anyway, so Sarah Jacobson knows all the Beatles songs. So she's going to have to find a way to do a duet with Marcus of Beatles songs. Also, Marcus Holmes thinks that Sarah and him should do Mbop by Hanson, which is a fantastic pop song. So they will have to get together at some stage to rehearse all of this. Luckily, Marcus is a lot nearer to Sarah than Kevin DeLuca is. However, that is still a number of 100 miles. So I don't know how they're going to get together. And they might have to do it. They might have to do their rehearsals live whilst running during one of the Paris Marathon training session live streams that they're now volunteering to do. Marcus says we will record the rehearsal and sell it later as an album. This is going from good to better, from better to amazing. Sarah Jacobson says we did a 90-minute live stream without any rehearsal, so yeah, karaoke should be no problem. Oh no, right, I forgot that Tina doesn't like the Beatles. Tina sarcastically states, what, the Beatles sending you to sleep? Surely not, she says. Tina, I thought we could be friends. You know, I put all my hopes and dreams into us being friends, but there we are. Right, Jackie Ramos wants to see Sarah and Marcus dancing. Well, you know, if they're starting to sing a duet of Mbop by Hanson, there's no way you could stop them dancing. I'm already picturing Marcus doing his 70s disco moves, whilst looking into the camera longingly, all of you watching on the live stream. Yeah, Paul Hayward, the king of the pun on Zwift. Actually, he should be called Paul Pun Hayward. Paul Hayward says, let it be, Tina. Very good. My weekly goal met. 50 kilometres on Zwift for the week done. I can stop now. I can go. Simont says, does the Paris Marathon have many hills? Not really, no. I mean, yeah, me and Victoria argued that it was pretty much flat. But then other people, Jackie Ramos in particular, argued, once they'd finished, argued that in no way was it flat. So there are a few little inclines, but nothing really significant. There are a couple of quite good downhills as well. And there's one uphill, which is kind of a bit of a slow drag, about 8k to 10k up to the park. It's not really bad. It's slightly uphill. 4 kilometres done now for me. Victoria's just a minute or so behind. Heather's joined us. Hello, Heather. Marcus says, on a serious note, I do feel like we're hitting crunch time for training. I need to step it up. 80 miles hopefully this week. Yeah, I'm doing 80 miles this week, Marcus. And I feel the same as you. That the thing is, I do feel like I am now seeing the benefit of the training. So I am seeing myself getting faster and fitter. But you're right, it needs to step it up a notch in the next 2 weeks. We need to be seeing those gains big time if we're going to stand any chance of 3 hours in Paris. I've got a half marathon in a couple of weeks, so I'm hopefully going to do a comfortable 1.5 hours with a low heart rate. If that half marathon in 2 weeks sees me struggling with a high heart rate, then it's all over and we'll just have to settle for the best I can do, but it won't be 3 hours. Right, there you go.
Lee Walker is asking about race strategy. Do you keep pace uphill or slow down? Are you talking about Paris Marathon or a marathon that would be hillier? So if it comes, we're talking about Paris, then we will try to do pretty much an even pace. Although there's slight inclines, we wouldn't call it hilly. Yeah, like small hills like Paris. For me, the only bit that I slow down on are the incline coming out of the tunnels. I do slow down for that bit and then catch up once I've got out of the tunnel. Last year, I did a negative split. So I did the second half slightly faster than the first half. Jackie says elevation of Paris is higher than Chicago and Tokyo, Rotterdam, Amsterdam and Berlin. So it is not flat. Jackie, to us, it's flat.
No, I totally agree with you, Jackie. There are definitely hills, and yes, in terms of elevation. So, in terms of meter, if you work in meters, then there are about 300 meters of elevation. Now, over a marathon, that's London is about 150 meters of elevation, Paris is about 300, I think. Victoria says Boston is 400 metres of elevation. Really? I thought Boston was net downhill. Marcus, isn't Boston... Yeah, well, net downhill means... You still do 400 metres of elevation? Wow. Okay. So yeah, Boston 400 metres of elevation gain. Paris, I'm fairly sure Paris is about 300 metres of elevation gain. Yeah, Marcus says Boston is net downhill, but you do gain quite a bit. And I think London is about 150 metres of elevation gain. Right. Yeah, so that's all madness, isn't it? Yeah, Victoria's got totally whack elevation. I'll have a look on one of my watches. I'm sure it's about 300. Heather, nice of you to join us. Full stop. You hoping for some extra XP? Question mark.
He says, what goes up? Exactly. Do excuse me while I have a drink of Earl Grey tea. Whilst I'm drinking my Earl Grey tea, Stephen has instant coffee with full fat milk, also known as a latte, just not barista latte. Lee says it's a latte up north, or is it tup north?
Yeah, up north they have the Tinternet, don't they, as well? The Tinternet. I'm doing some stuff on Tinternet. 5k done now for the Beacon group, and 4.7 for Victoria and Yoko. And we are nearly at 1 hour to go. We've got 1 hour and 1 minute left of the run. So we're ticking the miles over. If you are staying with us for the whole run, that's great. If you're not, if you're just staying for an hour or for 5k or whatever, thank you very much for joining us. Great to have you with us, no matter what speed you're doing or what distance you are doing.
Hello to Don Mega 70. He says, well, good afternoon, kids. I hope everyone is having an incredible day. Of course we are, thank you. I hope you are too. Tina says, hey, Don. Lee would like to know, do you guys know what a Guinel is? No, I don't. Quinel? Quinel? No idea. Stephen? Ginelle.
answering. Lee Walker says, do you know what a Ginelle is? No. Ginelle. No, I don't, Lee. I thought, but your original message says, do you know what a gunnel is? Is that like a Sally gunnel? GUI, yeah, okay. Hello, Don. Hope you are okay. Okay, we've got to Google it after. Ginelle. G-I-N space E-L. No, but at the top there he's put G-I-N-E-L. Or G-E-R-E-L. Girl. Girl? No idea. Oh, a girl. A girl. A girl. I think is that what you're saying? Buenaventura, hello, FMR family. He says hello. Ace Ventura, back in the fold. I'm guessing that he has been on an oil rig for quite a number of months. Sarah Jacobs says, Stephen, what are you doing? I'm trying to pronounce girl in northern, like northern English. So if you're from the north of England, in fact Scotland, girl, a girl, a girl.
So Lee's wife is from London, and it took him a while to explain. But apparently it's what northerners call an alleyway. Alleyway. Well, I would never have guessed that in a million years. Hello to Multiverse Animations. Says, yay, this is amazing. Thank you, Buenaventura. Ace says, nice to see the best tandem Zwifting. Thank you, my friend. I think it's an hour and 35 minutes tonight. No. Ace says, Stephen, yesterday was a weird broadcast.
Yeah, we had lots of problems with the stream yesterday for some reason. If you watched yesterday evening, the live stream just cut out and then cut back in again, then cut out again, and eventually dropped altogether. So I apologise if you were watching yesterday and you suddenly were left in the lurch with no live stream. Yeah, I don't know what went wrong, but it was my end. It was definitely here. Sarah says there's no issues today with YouTube like there has been for the last few streams. Wow. Because I know people have had to refresh YouTube and start it again to try and get the stream to run okay. So yeah, but hopefully it's okay today. Buenaventura, yeah. So since you were last on a regular basis, we've kind of moved all the chat over to YouTube. So most people are on YouTube. If you want to pop over and watch on there, Buenaventura, just go to the Zwift Run channel on YouTube and you'll find us there. But I mean, stay on Facebook if you'd like to. That's absolutely fine. I can still see your messages.
to Amy. She managed park run this morning. Well done. I opted for a lie-in instead.
Amy Green says she did manage park run this morning with Sophie. Oh, you've read that all right already. It was, yeah, I've seen pictures on Facebook. I think Sophie was there. We would love to come up, Amy, and do Newark Park Run with you one day. That'd be really nice. So maybe we'll try and make that happen one day. Maybe after Paris or something like that. We'll see. Sophie was over a minute quicker at parkrun today. Well done, Sophie. Fantastic work. Right, Paul Haywood says, Heather is only here to gather more info, to get intel on my wrongdoing as an illegal XP getter. And I can see she is tailing me closely. Marcus says there is a park run in Boston, Victoria, if you want to do it. It's called Jamaica Pond.
Marcus, I would have done the park run, but I've signed up to do the 5k with a couple of friends. Tina and Paul are welcoming Ace to YouTube. So, Buenaventura says, Victoria, are you only able to Zwift during the weekend? I do the interval session on a Wednesday evening. And I sometimes manage to get another run in during the week. But it's quite difficult with juggling children and cooking dinner. Buenaventura says, we need Victoria from Monday to Friday. We need to get Stephen to do some more cooking, although he did cook dinner one night last week. And the kids said they quite liked it. Jackie says, power to the girls, Amy. Ace is suggesting leave matters like cooking and kids for Stephen. Tina is in shock. Good Lord, Stephen cooked? It's probably been about 10 years since he last cooked. Ace says, boss, come on. I know you can do it.
Marcus thinks I cooked beans on toast. Marcus, if you think that beans on toast is cooking, then I have cooked many, many times in the last 10 years. I do a mean beans on toast with Marmite and cheese and black pepper. It is cordon bleu beans on toast. I said Marmite, yeah. Marmite was the first thing I said. Beans on toast with Marmite, cheese. Anyway, oh yes, don't forget the black pepper. The only reason I did cook dinner the other night was because over the past 6 years of running on Zwift, there has been increasing pressure for me to cook a meal. And, you know, there is a tipping point for everyone. And after 6 years, that tipping point was finally reached the other day, where I thought, right, I've had enough now. Everyone is getting at me to cook, so I cooked. Well, yeah, Victoria was doing a run outside, but you've done plenty of runs outside when I haven't cooked, or when I've just gone and done beans on toast as like the bare minimum effort, or pot noodle. Yeah, good exchange rate. 6 years equals 1 meal. So you all have to start getting at me again now, and it'll take me another 6 years to build, you know, for it all to kind of build up again. Sarah Jacobson says, to be fair, that is how often I cook a real meal. It wasn't very exciting, Tina, to be honest, but it was prepared. So it was basically just pasta with lots of vegetables. So a tin of chopped tomatoes, 1 onion sliced, 1 green pepper sliced, 1 or two large mushrooms sliced, with some tomato puree and garlic butter. That was everything.
And the kids both cleared their plates. Marcus is asking if Stephen likes pasta al dente. Yeah. Yes, we do.
I don't.
You do? Oh, sorry. Well, he gets pasta al dente at home because that's how I like it. Stephen always overcooks pasta.
Okay, right, so Victoria and I have been together 14 years, and she's been cooking me pasta al dente for 14 years. I like my pasta soft, but I haven't ever noticed. So now's the first time I've realised that Victoria cooks pasta al dente, so maybe I do like pasta al dente. I thought I liked it soft. Marcus says he knows how to hit all the domestic buttons. Sarah says, I like softer pasta too.
If there's a choice, Elsa always prefers it when I cook pasta. Because Daddy overcooks it.
To be fair, Victoria, the children always prefer everything you cook, rather than anything I attempt.
Buenaventura is now having second thoughts on suggesting that Stephen cooked. He says, to be honest, for the kids' health, will be better that Victoria continues cooking. Oh yeah, chewy pasta all the way. "45 minutes to go. We're over halfway." Bye, Buenaventura. Thanks for popping in. See you on Monday. On Mondays, I take our son Ellis to the running track, but I think we're coming home early, so I may be able to run. Tina and Paul Hayward saying bye, Ace.
Right, Marcus is complaining because we're not responding to his chat messages. We can see your chat, Marcus. Oh, yeah.
So, Marcus, I can see the live stream chat. Stephen is meant to be keeping an eye on the in-game chat. But we've only got one microphone. Hashtag microphone for Victoria. I was most envious last weekend that both you and Sarah had microphones each.
Well, it would have been a bit difficult if Marcus and Sarah had only one microphone between them, seeing as they were hundreds of miles apart. Yeah, Sarah Jacobson says she can't see Marcus's chat. Yeah, I can see it. No, Marcus isn't private messaging me. I can just, for some reason, I can still see him chatting. Maybe it's a thing for run leaders that they can still see everyone's chat regardless of how far away they are. Marcus is 1 kilometre ahead of me.
Yes, Tina is confirming that you're the beacon so you can see all. Stephen is asking in game, does anyone want to tell us about any other marathons they're doing this spring or autumn? Do you want me to tell you about my marathons I have lined up? I will be doing Boston and London. Because I'm doing Paris, but I'm also doing Boston, and I'm also doing London because I qualified for those two marathons. Stephen, did you qualify for those marathons? Lee's doing Manchester in April. Nice one. Marcus will be doing Paris and Boston. And then Virginia, did you say that is in the fall? Oh, yeah, Richmond, Virginia in the fall.
Heather is doing Speyside Way 50k in August. That's a cool one, Heather. Enjoy that. 50k. Good stuff. My brother, by the way, I have two younger brothers, in case you didn't know. Both of them have run in the past, but my youngest brother, Keith, he is in a running club and does run regularly, and he is doing his first 50-miler next weekend. Sarah says, oh God, what are your brothers like? Far more sensible than I am, I'm afraid. Yeah, I mean, you know, they're like normal people.
Amy did the Boston UK Marathon one year, purely because it's flat. Says I should try it again one year. You're doing the Grim Reaper 40-mile race, aren't you? Oh, are you doing the backyard ultra as well? Nice one. I've got OCC as part of the UTMB week. See what happens in between those. So Amy, have you signed up for the Suffolk Backyard Ultra? Amy says yes, signed up to the 40 miles and want to do the Backyard Ultra as well. I think you would enjoy that Backyard Ultra because it'll be exactly the same format that you did on the treadmill. It really is a beautiful route. But make sure you have batteries for your head torch that last. My head torch battery went. It wasn't much fun. I thought you were working at the Suffolk Backyard this year. Stephen can't remember if he's working or not. I normally drink water on the treadmill, but having a cup of tea is most refreshing.
Right, Sarah Jacobson says she's been really into drinking liquid intravenously during her runs. How do you manage that, Sarah? She says, I've been really into drinking liquid IV when I run. I mean, have you just got a needle in your arm as you run? Powder intravenously? Good Lord. Right, Sarah Jacobson is putting powder directly into her veins. Powdered cheese?
Is that the powdered cheese you were talking about on the run last weekend?
Sarah says, "Oh, stop it, you idiot." Yeah, we don't have that brand in the UK. Charm Mont is going for no, I don't think Sarah Jacobson is intravenously injecting mac and cheese into her veins, but I imagine the effect will be much the same as Donald Trump's idea of injecting detergent directly into your body to get rid of COVID. These Americans, they've got some wacky ideas.
I am very interested in this powdered cheese, mac and cheese. But are you allowed to take it to France? We're not allowed to take any dairy products into France, but that might just be because of Brexit. And we're not allowed to do anything now where Europe is concerned. Marcus misses Donald Trump's ideas. Donald Trump and Boris Johnson. Lee Walker says, asking for gout, that. So, Tina says, powdered cheese sounds so plastic, it worries her. Wasn't there that, was it the 1980s? People could get that cheese in a tube in this country. It was like a liquid cheese in a tube. That must have been very plastic.
Marcus says Cheese Whiz was great because they didn't even pretend that it was real cheese. Sarah Jacobs says, remember Cheese Whiz and Ritz crackers? Well, we had Ritz crackers, definitely. We still got Ritz crackers, haven't we? Do we still have Ritz crackers? You can still buy Ritz crackers in the UK.
Ah, yes, that's it, Heather. Primula cheese.
Oh, I like
it. Stephen's saying he likes it. I've never actually eaten it. It looked offensive. Apparently it was like a spreadable Dairy Lee cheese.
Spreadable Dairy Lee. It's spreadable Dairy Lee.
Yeah, Philadelphia. I can't believe that Primula cheese tastes like Philadelphia. Tina says, do you remember powdered mashed potato? Yuck. Well, actually, I have bought packets of, I think it's called Idaho mashed potato. It's perfect for when we're out either camping or if I'm crewing Stephen, that I can just make some potato and cheese. Don't knock it for ultra running. Yep, Heather remembers Smash. Paul Hayward says, only natural food passes his lips.
Paul Hayward says only natural food passes his lips. So I've just told ChatGPT to write me a menu for the week of low carb, high macronutrients, vegetarian meal options Monday through Sunday. It didn't do a bad job at all. I also asked it to make sure that it used prices from British supermarkets and budget prices at that. So we now have, not that we'll ever use it, but we now have a week of lunch, breakfast, lunch and dinner organised by ChatGPT, which was fantastic. Hang on a minute. Oh, Sarah Jacobson says, I'm wasting away, I'm level 23.
Tina Beard uses Primula as her go-to for recalling her dog if he goes off. He loves it. Heather says, Cremona Foam and Angel Delight, 2 other natural foodstuffs. I've never heard of Cremona. Don't know what that is, but Angel Delight.
I think
no. Cremona and Primula are 2 different things. Paul Hayward lived off Angel Delight at uni. Tina loves butterscotch angel delight. Me too. Hello to yes, it's Ozzy on Twitch. It says, hello, what is your treadmill? Stephen is running on the Techno Gym My Run, and I am running on a Noble Pro.
So there's the overhead view of my treadmill. Ignore these two boxes here, they're to do with the live stream. But I have two paddles here, one to increase the incline, one to increase or decrease the speed. And the details there of how long I've been running and how far I've run for. And no bells and whistles, it is just a solid treadmill, the Techno Gym My Run. And then we've also got the Noble Pro Elite 8i, which is what Victoria is running on. It's a more budget-friendly treadmill, but they both connect directly to Zwift, so there's no need to use a foot pod or anything like that. So that's the great advantage of having a smart treadmill. You know, you don't have to charge a foot pod, you don't have to worry about the speed not being the same, because that's the biggest argument, the biggest problem people have with using a foot pod or any other device connected to Zwift, is that the speed doesn't match. So what they think they're doing on the treadmill is not reflected by the foot pod or whatever device they're using. And that's the great thing about a smart treadmill, it connects direct. So the exact speed that is listed on my treadmill here, which is 9 kph, is exactly the same in game, 9 kph. And if I just pop it up by 0.1, it immediately goes to 0.1. Hang on a minute. Hang on. Where are we? So it immediately goes to 0.1, 9.1 in game. Knock it back down, and it immediately goes back down to 9.
Thanks, Lee, for joining us. He says, thanks all, keep going. Long run for me tomorrow. Wish my cough well. Lee, I hope it does go well. Just take it steady. My cough is okay. And it's a cremola foam. Sorry, it was a powdered orange and pink drink for children. Just add water. Deliciously chemical and fizzy. Good for keeping children calm. Well, I've never heard of that. Tina says, take it easy, Lee. And Paul says, bye, Lee. I'm only halfway through level 22. Amy Green says that she needs to be eating salad all week. Good luck purchasing salad, as there seems to be a national shortage. Marcus Holmes saying, is there a shortage? Yes. We are struggling to get salad items in supermarkets. Okay, so it's allegedly being blamed on some crop failures or bad weather in Europe. However, supermarkets in Europe are well and truly stocked up Oh yes. I went to the supermarket this morning. There were no normal sized cucumbers, just empty shells. And I managed to buy the last box of those ridiculously overpriced mini cucumbers. And they had a few tomatoes, not many. Great Britain is rapidly losing the great. My brother has offered to send me food parcels from France. Tina says now that she has her orange vest, she's not bothered about climbing the levels quickly. Paul Hayward says, I might take my foot pod to work on Tuesday and get those XP points.
Tina Beards, yeah, but what about the blue vest? Surely you need the blue vest now, don't you?
Actually, you should be wearing your blue vest on the treadmill. And then it will match your avatar. He has a very old Zwift blue vest. Leafon said this week I was too lazy to go outside for a walk, but right now I've somehow decided to lift some weights to just bottles of water and do some incline push-ups. Injured elbow is still painful when loaded. Leafon, just take it easy. It's not worth injuring yourself. Tina isn't bothered about the blue vest. My avatar is still sporting the Marcus Holmes t-shirt. I've not switched it to the orange vest yet. Heather says, I'm not sure the blue vest makes the most of my Scottish tan. "21 minutes to go." Stephen's suggesting we should all do a special Marcus run on his birthday, where we all wear his shirt in game. When is Marcus's birthday? Should we all eat donuts whilst he runs in donuts? March the 22nd, I will be running the Paris Marathon intervals on my birthday. Stephen is telling people it's my 50th birthday on March the 22nd. How very dare you? I deliberately didn't mention what age I will be. Amy says the best birthdays are in March. Indeed. Or Hayward, yes, quite right. Voice to text errors, surely 40. Exactly. Tina says, sorry, you absolutely cannot be 50. I won't believe that. I'm not 50 at all, Tina.
Right, Tina. So you won't believe that Victoria's 50, but you're perfectly happy to believe that I'm 53. Oh no, you're not 50. No, you're right, Victoria isn't 50. Not yet. Sarah Jacobson's husband's birthday is April the 1st. And Amy Green's daughter's birthday is April the 1st. So I hope you all play tricks on each other on that day. Marcus's wife's birthday is April the 4th. So it's going to be birthday city over a couple of weeks. End of March, beginning of April time. Charlotte is April's daughter Charlotte has her birthday on April the 1st. Marcus is taking his family to Paris, so we will be able to celebrate in Paris for Ari's birthday on April the 1st, and Marcus's wife, whose name I either don't know or have forgotten, on April the 4th.
Paul Hayward says to Tina, just because your Garmin age is 20, Tina, and you ran with teenagers at the track. Yeah.
Paul Hayward, to be fair, and I'm a bit annoyed that Tina will hear this, but I have now met Tina in real life. And she does indeed, for somebody knocking on 70, she does have the smoothest skin. And she is very young looking indeed, I have to say.
He really is rude tonight, isn't he?
I was nice. That was nice. That was a compliment. Compliment. I was being nice. That was a compliment. I don't understand what I've just said. I said she's very young looking. She's got very smooth, beautiful skin. That's a nice thing to say.
Tina says almost a compliment. Heather says, for knocking on 70, Stephen has the smoothest lines.
Heather, I'm not trying to chat her up. My wife is standing here. I'm being honest and polite. And I've met Tina, and she looks very young. I'm not surprised that her Garmin age. Look, I'm just going to stop now. Okay, I am going to stop now. Sarah Jacobson is dying with... What are you laughing at? You should all be going, oh, that's so sweet, Stephen, for you to say that about Tina.
I do apologise. Sarah Jacobson apparently said she... Was it almost fallen off the treadmill. She's almost fallen off the treadmill several times. Stephen thinks you need to stop drinking wine.
Hello, Christoph Hermans. Sarah, you talk about me drinking coffee whilst running. You really must stop glugging back the bottles of Prosecco whilst you are... Oh, yes, no, because you're injecting it into your veins. Well, that's probably even worse. You probably get drunk quicker doing it that way. No wonder you're falling off the treadmill.
Tina says you're digging a big hole. Tina, I think you can say dug a big hole. Marcus says Prosecco can be very hydrating. Well, there is the Marathon de Médoc marathon in France where they have wine at all the aid stations. Oh, Leafon accidentally bought some whiskey candies. He says, I missed that part where it was at the groceries. So he ate them 2 days ago and got drunk. How funny. But not so funny.
Okay, so that's 12.5 kilometres in. We've got, well, we have got just over 11 minutes left to run. Marcus Holmes wants me to run at marathon pace with him to the end. 10 minutes at marathon pace? Oh, Marcus. No, do you know what? I don't think so, Marcus. My legs are tired. I'll do some marathon pace running next week. But I'm gonna stay comfortable tonight. Is that all right? Sorry. Victoria wants to know if 9 kilometres an hour can be her marathon pace. I tell you what, I would love 9 kph to be my marathon pace. Martha says, don't let me cajole you. No, I am very disciplined. I can be very disciplined if I need to be. Yeah, Tina says don't do it. Sarah Jacobson says she's probably going to run around about that pace for the marathon. Maybe a little bit faster, but not much. So, Victoria, you're going to have to take Sarah Jacobson in hand and tie a string around Sarah Jacobson's waist and your waist so you both stay together.
Sarah, I'm more than happy to run at this pace. Sarah Jacobson will be treating Paris Marathon as a sightseeing tour. Quite right too. I wonder if we still go past the Louis Vuitton building.
Yeah, the only thing
we don't see Sacré-Cœur, but we go past Notre Dame, Bastille, Eiffel Tower, the Louvre, the Seine, Place de la Concorde, Champs-Élysées, Arc de Triomphe, the Diana Tunnel. Although I never know which one that is.
Unless the course is significantly changed, then we do run past the Louis Vuitton building at the end. Yeah. Sarah Jacobson says, do we run in the Diana Tunnel? Yes, we do. Yeah. Victoria always forgets which one it is, but yes, we definitely run in the tunnel where the crash happened. Yes, I think it's the last tunnel that we go through. The one with the disco is the first tunnel we go through. So what we do is you run by the River Seine, and there are quite a few cobblestones down there, Marcus. No, don't worry, Sarah's not insensitive at all. It was a long time ago, it's fine. So yeah, there are quite a lot of cobblestones down on the route by the river. And once you've gone down by the river, you then go into a tunnel, which is quite a long tunnel, and it's all lit up. And there's a disco in there, there's a DJ playing tunes with lights and everything. That's quite a long tunnel. Then you come out of that tunnel, and there are about 3 more short tunnels. And so they've got a little dip down into them, and then a little sharp incline out of them. And I think the last one of those is the tunnel where Diana's car crashed.
So go past Hotel de Ville, Town Hall. And was it the fire brigade? They congregate and have the big ladder, and
also Bois de Vincennes.
There's Bois de Vincennes.
Chateau de Vincennes.
Chateau de Vincennes.
Marcus says, what about GPS? And Sarah says, what about GPS in tunnels? So, here's the thing about GPS in tunnels. These days, what should happen is when your watch, if you have a relatively modern GPS watch, what should happen is that when your watch loses GPS signal, it should automatically switch to wrist-based measurement of your pace. So your GPS track might get a little confused, but your cadence and your stride length and your distance shouldn't be too affected. And I've run 10 Paris marathons, and they've all been pretty okay. Yeah, there are plenty of distance markers on the course where you can check, obviously, that your watch hasn't been messed up. The best thing to do if you're really super worried about it is to bring your stride markers. Wear your stride and have it set to indoors only. So your watch will know if it loses GPS signal, your watch will automatically change to use your foot pod for distance measurement, and then it will change back to GPS once you come out of the tunnel. And it's only the first tunnel that you'll really have a problem. And the other tunnels are just too short, really, to be of any significant issue. But as far as I remember, I mean, I've always had relatively decent distance measurement at Paris without any major problems. But that is because I've always made sure that my watch is set up correctly, so that it takes account of the tunnels. I hope that's not too much of a balls-out explanation or rubbish explanation.
Heather, yes, you're quite right. I believe we go past Musée d'Orsay, which is the museum with impressionist paintings. Oh, I didn't know that. Apparently we go past the classical music school. The opera as well we go past, don't we?
Everyone is staying with us today. Keep a long one, and next week we add another. Okay, we are nearly done. We've got 3.5 minutes left. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today. So 95 minutes today, and tomorrow, next weekend, we will be doing 100 minutes, 1 hour 40 minutes next week. Remember, we had 5 minutes every week until we get to 2 hours. 2 hours will be our final Paris Marathon long run. And yeah, so that is in 4 weeks' time. So next week, it will be 1 hour and 40 minutes. Please come and join us. You don't have to stay for the whole thing if you don't want to. You can run at whatever speed you want. Sarah Jacobson says this has been so fun, even with Stephen live streaming. Next week with Sarah and Marcus, stay tuned. So we might do that next week if they're into it. I know you're kidding, Sarah. It's all good banter. Tina B says that went very quickly. Well, it would do, Tina, if you're lying on the sofa watching us. She says, enjoy the weekend, everyone. See you soon. Thank you very much, Tina. Jackie Ramos says, thank you for all the good company. Thank you, Jackie. Thanks for running with us today. Heather says, thank you for streaming. Thank you, Victoria, for encouraging me not to be so lazy. I'm glad I made the effort. Well done, Heather. Oh, was that you that suggested she come and run? Oh, well done, Victoria. Right, so well done, Heather, for getting up and joining us on the treadmill. Heather's going to have done 10k by the time she finishes. So brilliant. Well done, Heather. Thank you for getting up and running with us. Thank you to Yoko, Jackie, Kuntz, Charm there, Paul Haywood, Motley, Sarah Jacobson, Tim Roberts, Macho, Amy Green is there, Marcus obviously as well. Actually, let me go and quickly drop some ride-ons. Hang on.
Well done all. Thank you for joining us.
Really is fun. Really?
The time really does pass quickly when you're in a group. Heather says, thanks everyone, see you next time. Yoko says, thank you very much, Victoria and Stephen. Of course, everyone too, it was a fun time. Thank you, Yoko. It's good to run with you. Stephen's just dropping some ride-ons. Thank you for the ride-on, Stephen. Maltese. Is that your first one?
Maybe have another one, yeah.
13.4k for me and 14.28 Stephen.
We are all done. But excuse me, I've got Maltesers in my mouth, chocolate in my mouth. That is us done. Another Paris Marathon long run in the bag. Nice and comfortable. 9 kph all the way for me and Victoria. Well done if you took part. That's not, it's not easy to run solidly on the treadmill for that length of time. So well done everybody who did that today. But it does only get longer. So next week we add 5 minutes. Amy says thank you both. Yoko says thank you very much, Victoria and Stephen. Thank you, Yoko. Thank you, by the way, Yoko. Just seeing Yoko's name there just reminds me. If you are a member of the channel, you don't know how much it means to us to get your support financially, but also just you being there. Thank you very much to all our members. If you're not a member of the Zwift Run channel or the Film My Run channel as well, or both, then please do consider helping us to keep going, to provide content for you, I do try and do some members-only videos from time to time. I do intend to try and do more of those members-only videos just for you guys who pay that little bit extra to the channel. So a big thank you to all of you guys for supporting both of our channels here, the Zwift Run channel and the Film My Run channel. Paul Hayward says, thank you, Victoria and Stephen. Great, enjoyable run. Yeah, so as I was saying, yeah, well done if you took part. It's not easy to just keep running on the treadmill. You know, people go to the gym and they run for 20 minutes on the treadmill, if that, and they're bored. But because we've got this great community and this great platform to run on, we can while away 95 minutes on the treadmill without any bother at all. And it's fun and enjoyable. So thank you guys for that. We are off for a shower and some food, and we will see you all. What day is it today? Do you want to do a pot noodle run tomorrow, or are you going to be too tired? Okay, so Victoria might do a live stream tomorrow. She does need to get some running in, but we might. Well, I'm certainly going to go outside for a long run tomorrow. Whether Victoria goes outside, you are. Okay, so Victoria is going out as well tomorrow. So, whether Victoria does a live stream tomorrow evening, maybe, but then if not, we will see you on Tuesday. Clive Finnemore will be here on Monday for the community run and for the MHG run at lunchtime. Chris Beale is not around tomorrow or today. Chris Beale would normally be streaming this weekend, but he has a ton of work, so he is not able to stream this week. Paul saying the Scotland run. What, on Tuesday evening? I'm not going to run tomorrow on Zwift. I'm going to have a day off from Zwift tomorrow. But Victoria might do the Scotland run tomorrow. If that's what you're talking about, Paul, tomorrow, then we might do that, or Victoria might do that tomorrow. Right, we definitely are going now, instead of just standing here chatting. We will see you on tomorrow or Tuesday. Take care, everyone. Thank you very much again. Bye-bye.